Hi, my name is Eva. I'm 15, turning 16 quite soon. I live in rural Louisiana, and I've had a YouTube channel before. I had a channel that I liked posting a lot in the beginning, but it kind of morphed into just me following trends, posting videos that were just about makeup and about really popular things, which are in fact things that I do love. And it was okay for a while, but it just kind of felt very performative, very just like following what everybody else was doing. And it worked, it got a lot of views. I had not a lot of subscribers, about 800, 900, but it was just, there was no soul in it. It wasn't something that I wanted to continue doing. I slowly fizzled out, stopped posting frequently. It was just like not something that I was in love with. It wasn't something that I wanted to be sharing with people. So I'm starting a new channel, a new place where I can post something that I'm passionate about, not for the purpose of, becoming famous. I don't want to put my name out there. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to share content that people will enjoy, something that's kind of encouraging. The main thing I am going to be posting about is exploring abandoned places, things around my town, doing stuff like that I really do enjoy, and I just want to do it with the purpose of showing people that you can do these things alone. Because I feel like we are in a very big time where we sit and we consume media that shows like friend groups going out and exploring abandoned places, going ghost hunting, going skateboarding together, going swimming, going to events together. And it's just, we sit home and we think, I want to do that someday. I want to be like them someday. I want to have that friend group. I want to have that connection with people where I can go out and do these things. I want to be able to have these experiences. But I'm trying to kind of share that it is okay to go alone. And that's what I'm doing. I'm going this alone because I don't want to say I don't have anyone, but the place that I'm in now, I have just moved to. I don't have any really good friends here, and maybe that can be part of the journey that I'm taking you guys on, is me exploring this alone and me going this alone, and maybe I will find those friends along this way. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm going to try to keep it very uncut, very real. I'm filming on an iPhone, so the quality is not going to be great, but I'm gonna work on it. I don't know, I have other cameras, but I can't video on them, so I don't know. I might have some cool pictures. I love posting photos and doing photography, but I do not have a video camera. But all of that said, let's get started. I don't really know how to intro this, but my property that we moved on to has tons and tons of abandoned places. And I don't mean just like little small things. It's actually quite large. The place that we are going into now is one of the smallest, and I'm actually filming right outside of it right now. You're sitting on the window, but this place is not far from my house. It is about 300 feet from my backyard, so it's very, very close. That's why I'm kind of being a little quiet. I don't want my mom to think I'm crazy, but I think I'm gonna have to cut it here because my video is gonna get too long. But this is the initial view from my backyard. This is kind of the structure we can see. We are in the process of cleaning all of this place up, but the past renters of this property definitely left quite a mess. We had to rent 2 industrial-sized dumpsters to get rid of all of the things that they left. But there's going to be a lot of trash around, a lot of debris and stuff. This is kind of the path that I've kind of cut out because there is a fence to the right. So we're gonna go through here. There is some trash down here. I do wish I could pick it up, but we have run out of space in the industrial dumpsters to be throwing things away, so it's kind of out of the question right now. Here is the initial structure. It is shaped kind of barn-like, so I do think maybe it could have been a barn in the past. It does have a loft up there, so that kind of supports that idea that maybe they were storing hay or just like supplies up there. The thing that does throw me off a little bit is the concrete flooring. which would be kind of unusual for a barn in my opinion. At least where I grew up, we had dirt floors or just hay on the floor, which would make a little more sense, but either way. We do have some kind of growth of the forest coming onto the wood. So that kind of suggests it's been here quite a while, although we do have tons of electric outlets kind of around with some wires sticking out and stuff, so it can't be that old. I don't really have any history about the building. I wish I did have some kind of backstory to give you guys. That would be really neat. And I just find it interesting when there is kind of, you know, a story behind the place and everything, but sadly I don't have that opportunity today. Back here, there's like a sofa, so I don't know why that would be in here, but oh, there's a bug. We are disturbing his home, but I'm just gonna take a couple steps back here. But I do see lots of like nests, and there is a web over here that I can't really show you guys on camera right here in this kind of area, so I'm not gonna go through into that area. I don't want to disturb that web, but there is tons of junk back here, just like debris. I think there is, yes, over here there is a ceramic, like the lid to a toilet kind of, that covers the water tank in the back. So that's sort of interesting. This is a bug spray tank for like spraying or weed killer or like bug spray for killing infestations. Back here there's a lot of debris. I think a lot of that is from the walls that have collapsed in. And there was also a door in kind of this space right here. And there is the door laying down with the hinge showing. I'll go over there in just a second. We do also have this industrial kind of shelf, which I don't know what that could be from. There is some odd dots down here. I don't know if that is from some sort of bug or something. We have been seeing them around this property a lot because we think the kids that lived here in the past had BB guns and would frequently shoot them at things that they might not have been supposed to be shooting them at. There's some holes in the doors to our garage and all over the floor of the garage, stuff like that. So another thing that leads to believe the kids were out here is this basketball hoop. There's also like tarps that have been put up around, so maybe they were trying to kind of make it a little fort for themselves, something like that. So there's some really nice lumber out here that's just kind of wasting. I don't know if we'll be able to put that to use or not, but there's some cinder blocks. This is a really neat little structure here, which is not like constructed, but it is man-made. Is these vines have been weaved together to kind of make a little fort in here. So that's really neat. You can see some like metal up in there, just kind of things that they might have brought in. So that's another reason I think the kids must have been out here a lot. There's also some ceramic. I think these might be part of a toilet because of the little drain pipe in the back right there. So possibly there's also some more metal around here. This is where I believe the door was. So the door would be here and this wall would have been filled in on this side. So I don't know what exactly the structure was for. As you can see up here, this is where the loft starts on this side, and this is just kind of the back end of the building. I guess the lifted ceiling could suggest the back end was added on later, but it also could just be that they wanted one side lower than the other. Over here, oh, that's a really neat web. Tons of dew on it, so it's really evident. Here you have the back. The tarps are kind of covering the back a little bit where the walls are missing. No trespassing sign. That's going to be on a lot of the buildings that I'm exploring. It is not because I am trespassing. I swear what I'm doing as legal. We own about 6 acres of forest, which is filled with just like abandoned places and things like that. So a lot of the places I'm going to be exploring have that sign, and that is just because they are trying to keep out people who don't belong on this land. So that is the main reason. We aren't really going to be strict in enforcing that. I mean, it's old abandoned places. The only reason we would want to keep someone out is a safety cause. So I don't really know where else to show. I mean, here are the kind of cords again. Here's a really interesting box. It's probably filled with wasps, but that's just kind of the extent of this building. I do have a lot more buildings in mind to show that I know of. I have not explored the whole forest. Obviously, there's definitely a lot more to be seen around here, so that's gonna entail a lot of walking, a lot of talking on camera, which I am not prepared for, but we're gonna get there together. Okay guys, that kind of concludes my little tour of the first building. As you can tell, I am very hot and sweaty. That is kind of how it's gonna be because we're in Louisiana. It's very, very humid, but I do, like I said, I have a lot more buildings I want to talk about. One of them is right behind me. You can't really see it, but it is a really cool A-frame building that I believe to have been a Elks Lodge or just like a man cave or something like that. It has tons of bottles, like a beer table, not a beer table, a pool table, like the light that goes over a pool table, but there's no pool table. There's tons of boxes to go through over there, tons and tons of like just paraphernalia, like kids' toys, old records and stuff. I won't be like showing anybody's papers or anything, but just like interesting things like that over there. All of the walls are attached. The roof is doing well. Everything looks really amazing shape. I actually did have to, there was a window that was, well, all the doors and windows are boarded off, and I had to end up ripping one of the boards that was kind of loose off of it, pulling the chicken wire that was covering the window up, and then climbing through there. And I did end up actually kicking the door open fireman style so that it would have an easier time getting in next time I go. So that place is really interesting. I hope you guys can come back for that video. I really hope you enjoyed, and I really wish that I would find a community that does want to do these things like I am doing. And maybe at some point I could invest in some kind of joint channel where we can all post videos, like obviously from different places, but doing things on our own that are just like kind of scary, kind of out of the box to be doing alone. I do kind of understand kind of the safety risks behind going ghost hunting, urban exploring, just adventuring by yourself, but it is also a really important time to learn things about yourself and to just kind of grow in who you are by yourself without having friends around, without having to have a connection with other people. So I really hope that this video does well and that it reaches the right people. If it doesn't, there's always next time. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good night.